Click, click, clap. What's going on, guys? I am SimpleSimon and I'm here at the Melbourne Exhibition Centre. It is the Game Expo, the third ever Game Expo. If you haven't seen already, I did the cosplay interviews. Well, that's what I'm doing here today. That video should have already come out, but this video is the vlog. So if you want to see more of the day's events, this is it, the Game Expo. Let's go. Quick shout out to my Minions. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in exclusive members only videos, extended episodes of The Noob, and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more about channel membership. But remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos. Alright, first thing was first, we had to go pick up our passes. Now, when I go to these events now, I normally only go for the one day, which is the Sunday. So big shout out to the Game Expo for hooking us up with the Creator Pass. And look, it looks like so much fun working there. These guys are staff. Look how much fun they're having. Look who we ran into first. Yay! You guys hopefully should have already seen the interview. The interviews are going to come first. So this is like, yeah. This is the... There you go. Oh. Alright, so into the event we go, and here it is, the Game Expo. Now, I know it looks kind of empty, but just keep in mind this was day 2, and it was early in the morning still. So, Lily just couldn't wait to be interviewed by me, but I told her you have to wait because we're saving Lily until last. But big shout out to Lily, because the only way you can get my beautiful girlfriend Sarah to come on screen is when Lily is around, because she loves Lily. Good stuff there. If you haven't seen the interviews, I recommend going back and watching them, because these are the videos that were my bread and butter. Before people started watching me, they only watched these cosplayer interview videos. And I met some amazing people. So shout out to everyone I got to interview. And once we were finally done with the interviews, there's Emma from Mob Zombies. We had a quick chat there. But once we were done filming, we made a quick stop off at the VIP lounge, because, you know, I had to prepare myself for all the stuff that I was about to take in at the event. So if you're ever wondering, this is what it looks like upstairs. All these guys are content creators, and it was just a big space for them to just hang out, relax a little bit, play some video games, and even get a drink. In fact, Sarah had a little bit of a headache, and I was like, I know just a thing. Some hard liquor. Cheers. When the alcohol's free, it would be rude not to have at least just one, right? Anyway, here is the really cool view overlooking the entire venue from up there as well. I was really keen to get this shot here, so just a really great view of the event. Now, I was super excited to watch some Street Fighter competitions. I read there was one going on, but it must have been on the Saturday, because I got there and all they had was Tekken. So I must have missed the Street Fighter event, unfortunately. Tekken's okay, but you know, Street Fighter's OG. There was a huge area where you could play board games and tabletop games, which is cool, including classics like Mahjong and chess. There was even an indie game called This Is Not Chess, but it looked just like chess. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of people having a good time, playing their tabletop games. I didn't know what was going on, but I want to get a shot of these guys all enjoying themselves and having fun. How good's this shot, by the way? Whew. Cinematography, it's all done with an iPhone, by the way, because I'm real pro, which is why I use an iPhone 14 Pro. Ooh, that's a nice desktop. Now, if you love playing video games and maybe you want to meet some new people and play your favorite games with them, it was definitely a great place to go. This is my favorite section here. It was the retro video game section. Look at these old school games. Look at this kid coming up. Look how small that TV is that this kid's playing on. He must be looking at that, tripping out like, how were TVs ever so small? The smallest TV these days is like 32 inch. Look at these little things. Crazy. Anyway, good times had at the retro game section. And then you had stalls like Pixel Crib here. I don't know what these were, but they look like retro games. How cool is this little Street Fighter machine? I actually want that. How cool would it be if I could pose my Street Fighter figures with that machine? I think that would be awesome. And then you had stores like Good Games. It was a nice collab there. You got the Box Hill store and the Greensboro store. banding together to form one store. These arcane cards look pretty cool. Never seen those before. And then I wasn't expecting to see these guys there. Aussie Collectibles, you might recognize their name, and that's because they were one of the stores that unfortunately got hit during the Pokemon raids. So I do hope they had a busy day, because it's just really unfortunate that things like that happen to small businesses. So I really hope they had a good day. Now, something that was crazy was there was free Red Bull at this event. Not just one, it was just all weekend. They were handing out free Red Bulls. I don't even drink Red Bull, but when it's free, I'll drink Red Bull. Yes, please. Thank you very much. I went with the no sugar option. And here's me trying to scull a Red Bull in one gulp. Didn't quite get there. It was a good effort though. I got 3/4 of the way through that can, and then I felt sick. Here's Sarah flicking through some Pokemon cards. I believe this was still at Aussie Collectibles. This store is Zenime. They're at all the events, especially the anime ones. They have heaps of cool anime related products, and they always have these really cool statues at their stall. Now, I don't know what Hungry Panda is, but I think that's a great nickname for me because I am a hungry panda. That person on the left there is a sleepy panda. And oh no, I totally forgot to film the name of this shop. I always try to include the business names because that's, my way of, if people see something they like, they can, look up the business name. But I did forget to do it for this shop, and they had a lot of cool stuff. So I do apologize to this shop with all the cool stuff. Now, Limit Break Collectibles, they're very familiar. I see them at a lot of the Melbourne collectors markets and Melbourne Comic and Toy Fair, and they sell all things anime, from statues to other little collectibles. So if you need an anime fix, got all the ladies of anime there, go see the crew at Limit Break Collectibles. There you go. Oh, little mystery figs too. Jolly Creations is another store you see at a lot of these events, and they make all kinds of cool stuff too. They got these little pins there. I've actually got quite a few t-shirts from these guys. They have some great t-shirt designs like this. I haven't even seen Howl's Moving Castle, but I want that t-shirt because I love ramen, and I'm pretty sure that flame thing is called calcifer. Am I right? But these guys are most well known for their little Pokeball terrains that have your favorite Pokemon inside, and they even do these ones now that aren't Pokemon. Now this stall here, 56 bits. I spent a bit of time getting footage here because I was really shocked that they had a store like this at this event. You don't normally see stores like this at big conventions. They sold a lot of retro video games, not just video games, but also consoles. Look at that. For those who know me, you'll know I love going through boxes of loose action figures. Now these weren't action figures, they were amiibos, but I still had a fun rummaging. I was looking for Ryu, but I didn't quite find him. But it was cool. $1,200 for that Super Nintendo game. Oh wait, that says Nintendo 64. Sorry. But still, $1,200, that must be super rare and in super minty condition. But yeah, it was really cool that you could play retro consoles at this event, but to be able to buy them too, that is awesome. And shout out to that tall gentleman there. He actually came up and had a chat because he watches some of my videos. So yeah, big shout out to you, dude, and 56 bits. Now, we got to the indie game section, and this entire section here is all just indie games, including King of Ping Pong. I don't know if you guys know, but back in the day, I was the king of ping pong. I even have a trophy. It says I was the most valuable player. I totally suck now though. Now check out this game, Aussie Bogan Hero. Yeah! Check it out. You get to play a Aussie Bogan Hero. Look at it, they've even got a VB can there, and that character on the screen definitely looks like an Aussie Bogan Hero. That's fantastic stuff there. This game, Ecliptic, is made by a company called Made With Cookies, and our friend Tara actually works with them. We did interview them about the game at PAX, but we thought we'd tune in with Tara and see how the game is going. Hey Tara, let's get this in the background. Let's do that. So give us an update on the game since we last spoke to you at PAX.
We are aiming for finish at the end of the year.
Finish? Finish.
Our demo's out,
Yep.
yay, but today we have a few extra rooms that aren't on our demo.
Where can people find the demo somewhere?
On Steam.
On Steam, that's right.
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Excellent. Well, I'll have a link show up here somewhere. So if you finish for the end of the year, when do you expect the game to be available for people?
After PAX.
After PAX, alright.
Yeah.
We'll wait till PAX. So there you have it. If you want to download the demo for Ecliptic, it's available on Steam. And check it out, free stickers. Who doesn't love that? Anyway, here's some more video game goodness. Catnappers, that must be about cats that nap, or cats that kidnap. Check out this game, Pedal VR. Look, there's no one playing. It's free. No, it's not. Someone is playing. And he's pedaling away. That's a good game to get fit. Maybe I should play that game. Now, if you were a novice and you didn't know how to play games, it's all good. TGX got you. You can learn to play. There are tables here with volunteers who would help you learn the games, which is super cool. Now, they had some Beyblades there. Now, I remember Beyblades. I used to work at a primary school back in the day. I worked on the school holidays. And I remember Beyblades were all the rage. So I also worked at Blockbuster at the same time. So I went back to Blockbuster and watched the whole first season of Beyblades. Came back the following school holidays and the kids said, Beyblades aren't cool anymore, we're into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, whatever, why do I even bother with you kids? Marvel Rivals is a huge game at the moment, and they actually had the finals of the Marvel Rivals tournament there, so there was big crowds there. And then we finally made it into Artist Alley. Now, if you want to follow any of these artists, get your phones out because I just kind of got some random scattered footage, but I did do my best to get their table names if you want to follow the artists. I do have to give a shout out to Wookie Print here. Look how amazing their table looks. Look how eye-catching it is. I met these guys at one of the Melbourne collectors markets. They do these really cool prints of gaming cartridges with your favorite games or your favorite Pokemon on there, and they're actually little storage cases inside, but their table caught my eye and I was like, I definitely got to include these guys. Look at these massive Game Boy cartridges, and they actually store, I can't remember what they store inside, but they store something inside. I actually bought one for Sarah, and here's the QR code if you want to give Wookie Print a follow. Check it out, it's Titchy Yozzie's. I've known Samantha for so long now from all these kind of events, so I always have to share her table and her wings that go in your shoes. So if you ever want to jump higher, run faster, or just fly, go see Sam at Titchy Yozzie's and get yourself some wings. But if you find the wings aren't helping you fly, then go back to the Red Bull stand and grab yourself a Red Bull. And follow my friend Samantha at Titchy Yozzie's. And sometimes we do chat to Samantha in these videos, but I learnt today that she had no voice. And I also learnt that she was a ghoul. Now, check out this crowd. It looks like Tay-Tay is about to walk out on stage. But they were actually waiting for the cosplay competition because people love the cosplay competition and love all the cosplayers, of course. So, unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of footage from this. In fact, barely any at all because it was just so crowded. I really just couldn't get a good spot. And people were so fixated on this competition that they didn't even notice that Batman was just casually chilling at the back of the crowd. Now, if you do want to see some more of the cosplay event, I'd probably recommend checking out my friends over at Mob Zombies because they usually get some really good footage of the cosplay competitions. Now, this stall, Illustrious, modeling and 3D printing. At first I just thought, oh, there's some pretty cool 3D prints, but then one of the guys who was working at the table showed me how much cooler they really were. Check it out! Those wind-up Bombermans actually work. That's crazy, and even this Gatling gun, that was all very impressive. And then I finally spotted my friend Vinny. Vinny thinks he's real slick hiding behind that face mask, but mate, I recognized him from a mile away. Finally ran into Vinny. Looking good today, mate. Look at that. Snazzy. Now, I have to ask you a question, Vinny.
What's up?
You cosplayed yesterday, right? You did a great cosplay. I assume, you let me in on it the night before. I was like, that's awesome. People are going to love it. Did it get a good reception?
It did.
Now, I watch your videos, and you get you got really good quality videos. I see your little editing studio when you post on Instagram. Well, man, you've got some really expensive equipment, I'm assuming. Why is it that you had to cosplay with the cheapest shoes possible? What happened there, mate? What happened to your shoes? How does a sole just fall off?
Okay, I don't wear suits often, so I don't have a need for formal shoes. And that formal shoe I owned for more than 4 years. I haven't touched it. So the leather, everything was crap. And
Wait, you haven't touched it and it fell apart?
it just fell apart. It was just
What brand was it? Let's name and shame the brand.
I don't know the brand. It was
Alright.
$25 online somewhere. Yeah.
Well, now you know, guys, never buy $25 shoes because you're going to end up like this guy and have one shoe.
Oh, so embarrassing.
Hope you enjoy the rest of the week, mate. Are you doing a vlog, video, anything?
I am, but I've kind of given up. I've given up. Yeah. I'm just too tired.
But they're so good.
Nah, I don't know. I'm not feeling like it. Yeah.
Well, when you return, I'll still be here being a fan.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
One day, I'm going to have all the money and I'm going to pay Vinny to be my editor and video guy. I'll just have to rock up into the room and be me, and he'll do all the rest. And my videos will look schmick. Anyway, check out this band. They look like a real band. A real rock band. Let's give this band a name in the comments, shall we? Oh, Daytona. That was a classic back in the day, but look how crap it looks on the Sega Saturn there. I think that was a Sega Saturn. I remember playing it on the Sega Saturn. Now this dude here just might be the king of whatever this game is. He was absolutely going off. Look at that. This guy, mate, insane skills. I don't know what this game was, but I put all my money on this guy. 259 combo. Then just walks off like a G. You know what time it was? It was Red Bull time, because Red Bull gives me wings, just like the ones Tichy Yozzy makes. And here's my second attempt at sculling a Red Bull in one go. I did even worse this time. I only drank about half of it on that second attempt. So shame on me. This crowd here, I'm not sure if it was a competition, but they were playing some Super Smash Brothers and getting really into it. And there's Vinny about to take a spin on the wheel. Now Vinny's friend there, she actually spun and got the top prize. As you can see, you got to land on the two stickers. There's only one on each side of the board. She actually won the top prize. So the odds were stacked against Vinny to go back to back with his friend. And spoiler alert, he didn't win. Well, he did win, he just not the top prize. How has the event been for you, mate? You work here?
I volunteer.
You volunteer? How does...
That's been going great.
Excellent, excellent. How, if someone wants to volunteer for the Game Expo, how does that work?
Basically, go to the website. You should be able to see everything, like expos and everything else. Like, there's drop-down menus. If you see volunteers or join the crew, you can sign up for next year. Applicants are open. Or do make sure that you pick what you want to be in.
As in what job you want to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically at front of house, which is info desk ready.
Yep.
There's also other places as well, like merch store. We have the R&D booth. We have front of house. We have ticket collection as well.
So do you volunteer for a lot of these kind of cons?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And there's some perks, right?
Yes.
All right.
With the lanyard, you get in as a volunteer. You can stay as much as you want. Just follow every bit of the rules that you are given and be respectful.
That's right. All right, well, before I let you go, mate, you have a YouTube channel too, right?
Yes, I am Slytherin Reviews.
Slytherin Reviews. And can you tell people what we do over at Slytherin Reviews?
Basically, I review anything that I can get in, along with small haul videos from conventions. And if there are any supermarket promotions like from Coles or Woolworths, I will actually do those.
Cool, cool. Beautiful, mate. Well, you know what? I'm going to put your YouTube channel here if anyone wants to check you out.
Yep.
All the info's there. Well, Neil, I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend, mate.
I will.
Awesome. So that was TGX, the third ever Game Expo. It was a great day, but it was time to say goodbye. But if you do want to check out this event because you haven't been before, all the details will be in the description below. And of course, as we were leaving, I couldn't help but pull out the phone and get just a little bit more footage. Now, Sarah and I had eaten nothing but some chips for the entire day, so we were starving. So we went home and got some pizza, and here's the food porn for all you people who love the food porn. Alrighty, I'm back. I won't go into too much detail about what I thought of the event because I did that mostly at the end of my cosplay interview video. So if you didn't watch the cosplay interview video, I do recommend going back and watching that, just because those were the first videos I started making that people actually watched. One thing about the event today I noticed, which I thought was really cool, and I hope they have more of in the coming years, is when I go to events like PAX, for example, there's nothing that I want to spend my money on. It's all gaming related, keyboards and, you know, things like that. I don't remember this last year. Now, I could be wrong. There probably was stalls. In fact, I have no doubt there were stalls that had, you know, selling stuff like, you know, anime merch and, you know, figures and things like that. I felt like there was a lot more of that this year, which is cool because that's the stuff I like to look at. For example, there was a shop, I totally don't remember the name. It was like 56-bit or something like that. There was a stall that was selling retro video game stuff. And that was really cool. Like, that's what I think. I remember going to previous events like this. I can't remember, I'm pretty sure the Game Expo didn't have a lot of that stuff previous years, and PAX definitely has none of it. But I feel like for a gaming exhibition, you know, they highlight retro video games, which is super cool. You can go there and play old games from like as far back as like Commodore 64 and things like that. That's super cool, but it would be super cool to have more stores where you would give people the opportunity to buy that sort of stuff, right? So yeah, that one stall in particular was the main one I noticed that had retro video games, retro consoles that you could actually buy, and that was super cool. That's the type of stuff that I see at the events that I like going to, like the toy fairs and comic fairs and things like that. So that was really cool that they had that, and I really do hope that they do more of those kind of stalls. I'll quickly show you what I got. So even though I spent $0 today, I still got to come home with some stuff, which is cool. Now, hopefully these come up and film. So firstly, Sarah actually bought a Pokemon card from Aussie Collectibles. Sarah and I actually did a video at Aussie Collectibles many years ago, back when I used to do the Nerds Day Out vlogs with Sarah. That were the good old days. We went to Aussie Collectibles. They've actually changed a lot. I don't even know if they did a lot of cards back then. They were mostly like pop vinyls and like super expensive sideshow statues and things. But Sarah bought this, hopefully that comes up, but yeah, Sarah bought that Pokemon card. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure back in the day when I used to do some stupid Pokemon videos, I gave that I called it a Magnetmon, but I'm pretty sure that's not its name. But so there's a card that Sarah bought, and there is the details for Aussie Collectibles if you want to check them out. And then we got some cards thanks to Neil from Slytherin Reviews. He was working at like, I don't know if it was the info desk or what, but when I went and said hi, he gave me these little TGX trading cards. That's kind of cool, right? The trading cards with the TGX logo, dude. I don't know that little dude's name. I'm sure he has a name. Focus. This camera is still new. I'm borrowing it off my friend Sean. Kind of cool. A couple of collectible cards there, which is really cool. I like that. This was my little 3D printed Cubone skull from Lily, which is very cool. She gave me that during the cosplay interview. She printed a bunch of these and gave them out to all her friends at the event, so that was very nice that I got included in that. These here were from, her name was Sarah as well, the cosplayer who was dressed up as Raven. She was handing out to people who met her, she was handing out these her art, these little art card prints that she did. They were pretty fun. So Sarah chose this one, my Sarah chose this one, Let's Kill a Horse, which is pretty fun there. And then I chose the octopus one. So that was cool. A little bit of art, some memories from the event. So our friend Tara, who used to work with us, is working on an indie game called Eclectic. We actually interviewed Tara and one of her co-workers about the game at PAX. And then obviously she showed up in the vlog today. I actually asked her a bit about the game as well. The game is very, kind of evolves around, you know, star signs and horoscopes and things. So they had all these little art things with, so this is Scorpio. So Sarah grabbed that one. And then she grabbed this one for me. Is that focusing? Yeah, and then that's me. I'm an Aries. You know what? It's my birthday at the end of this week, guys, or it's actually March 31st. Make sure to, actually don't. I don't like celebrating my birthday anymore. I'm too old. Yeah, I think that was it. So, I don't know. Good day out. I know I often go to these events and say that I have no money, but today was like serious. Serious no money. So it was really cool to come home with some nice gifts from people. So, all right. That's it for this one. Next weekend, or this weekend, by the time you see this, is Supernova. So I'm gonna have cosplay interview videos from Supernova. I'll also have a vlog from Supernova as well. I've got a bunch of vlogs that I've filmed waiting to come out. I've got the retro movie market at the Astor Theatre that I went to. I've also got my Geelong trip where I went to Pop Culture Gallery, Mill Market and things. So I've got a lot of vlogs coming out. As far as other events, this week when you see this will be Supernova. The following week on April 6th will be the Melbourne Vintage and Modern Toy Fair, or the Vintage and Modern Toy Fair at Melbourne Town Hall. Definitely go to that event. That is one of my favorites to go to. If trading cards are more your thing, this coming week on Sunday, the same day as Supernova on March 30, the TCG Expo is on at Melbourne Town Hall as well. If you're more of a card person, definitely go check that one out. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna make that because I'm at Supernova, but if I somehow manage to leave Supernova early, I might head to that, but it's gonna be a hard one. So yeah, Vintage and Mod Toy Fair, April 6th, and then the following week after that, on April 13th, you've got the Geelong Comic and Toy Fair out in Geelong. Bit of a hike if you're from Melbourne, but I'm gonna make that trip out to Geelong and I'm excited because I've never been to that event before. And then another one, I don't know if I've mentioned later on in the month, I think it's on April 27th, is the Sunbury, I can't remember what it's called. It's a Sunbury fair that has collectibles, cards. I think it might be a little bit more card focused, I'm not too sure. I'll try to have a flyer here if I can, but yeah, there are a bunch of events that you guys can go to in the coming month, and yeah, stay tuned for, I got a whole lot of vlogs coming out as well. That's it for this one. If you've stuck around this long, I appreciate you. Don't forget to give the video a like, leave a comment, and if you're new to the channel and you want to watch more vlogs like this, check out the playlist in the description so you can check out all the places, shops, events that I go to. And until next time, I'm SimpleSimon, tell your friends, and keep it simple.